excited.
Yes, it's been 7 years since the reboot of God of War, almost 3 years since Ragnarok, and almost 2 years since the Valhalla DLC dropped from the time of this video. Yet it feels like there's always a few new things or place to explore. After spending over 600 hours across the entire reboot series, I've narrowed down the top 5 best light runic attacks that truly define the combat experience. Keep in mind that when making this list, I focused on 3 key areas: crowd control, melee damage, defense, and invulnerability. So let's break it all down. In no particular order, here at the top, 5 light runic attacks across the reboot series. Huldra Charge. The Draupnir Spear's Huldra Charge is hands down one of the most versatile light runics in the entire series. It checks nearly every box: range strikes, evasive movement, melee damage, crowd control, and even those tricky red ring counters against high-profile bosses. The moment you activate it, Kratos instantly locks into an invulnerable animation, perfect for dodging last-second strikes even from enemies creeping up behind. But here's where Huldra Charge truly separates itself. It unlocks the Draupnir Spear's most impactful skill, Elemental Siphon, which allows Kratos to extract an enemy's element, gain temporary resistance to its effects, and use it against them, whether it's fire, frost, light, bifrost, poison, or shock. And the cherry on top, when paired with the Gale Force, you can blast that siphoned element across multiple enemies for devastating crowd control. Or, if you prefer, weave it into your regular combos to deal extra elemental damage with every strike. Simply put, Huldra Charge isn't just a runic. It's an all-round toolkit that transforms the Draupnir Spear into one of the most creative and unstoppable weapons in Kratos' arsenal. So watch out, next one changes the pace completely. Scotty's Edge. In God of War 2018, Scotty's Edge wasn't even a runic. It lived quietly as a regular skill under the Leviathan Axe's range skill tree as Hunter Killer. It offered no real invulnerability or special protection during gameplay. It was just another ranged option, but somewhat effective for extra support, like a simplified version of Ingrid. But in Ragnarok, Scotty's Edge was elevated into a true light runic, and with it came an entirely new level of impact. It delivers concussive blows that stuns and interrupts anything or imminent attacks, making it one of the most reliable tools for ranged combat, crowd control, and even defensive counters. One cool thing about the Scotty's Edge is that once activated, Kratos enters a temporal animation state that gives time to mark placeholders of up to 8 axe targets on enemies, with each strikes dealing damage actively and countering incoming blows, disrupt combos, or even stagger high-profile bosses mid-attack. One key strategy I find useful is target placement. You can point the axe targets on certain body parts of the enemies, one of which is the head to daze them or their legs to knock weaker foes clean off balance. Bigger enemies get thrown off rhythm while smaller ones get launched into the air. Either way, it opens a perfect window for devastating follow-up combos. Scotty's Edge is proof that sometimes precision is power. So wait till you see what's next. Spartan Charge. The Spartan Charge runic no doubt offers the most formidable defensive tools against any form of attack, making it special across all God of War reboot series. Once activated, Kratos launches forward in a powerful dash that doubles as both a shield and a weapon, and that window can take any form of heavy attacks or projectiles without a fling. This single move cuts clean through enemy lines in a crowd control scenario, while dealing heavy impact damage. But it's not only force, Spartan Charge also inflicts a burn damage status on enemies even after the hit. Its defensive utility shines brightest against bosses such as the Valkyries. It's one of the rare runics that directly counters 97% Sigrun's deadly Valkyrie strikes, nullifying almost everything in her arsenal, except her infamous Valhalla Stomp. That level of reliability makes Spartan Charge not just an offensive tool, but a lifeline in the toughest encounters.
Nicely done!
Hell's Touch. Hell's Touch is one of the most underrated runic attacks across the entire series. But here's the surprise, it's actually one of the best light runics when it comes to stun impact, speed, and area coverage. Even more impressive, it's one of the few runics that never got overhauled or nerfed as the series progressed. One of its greatest strengths lies in its cooldown time. It has the shortest recovery of any light or heavy runic attack, staggers almost any enemy type, even tough mini-bosses, and can interrupt red ring heavy attack animations if timed right. Hell's Touch is the definition of low risk, high reward. Its fast animation and recovery mean Kratos isn't left vulnerable afterward. It's the kind of runic you'd call small but mighty, and on higher difficulties like Give Me God of War, it's often more life-saving than the flashy, high-damage runics, since it remains consistently viable across the entire game. Always reliable, small but absolutely mighty. Now here goes the final cat. Cyclone of Chaos. There was almost a tie in this one between Cyclone of Chaos and Rampage of Furies. They both don't offer any form of immunity against projectile damage, however, they are absolute monsters of a runic attack. And honestly, you could argue either way. But here's why Cyclone edges it out, specifically the Cyclone of Chaos in Ragnarok and not God of War 2018. Cyclone of Chaos has what I like to call a multi-dimensional coverage. It's like a 3D sweep, covering all sides of Kratos at once. One of the greatest advantages of Cyclone of Chaos is its ability to immobilize enemies until the runic animation finishes. The only exception being Travelers, who possess the highest stagger resistance of any boss in the game. On the other hand, Rampage of the Furies is more one-dimensional. It mainly works in the direction Kratos is facing and directly opposite, unless you keep turning Kratos mid-attack. That makes Cyclone more versatile in real fights and box situations. In other words, Cyclone of Chaos gives control. It's not just about numbers, it's about tactical advantage. And that's where Cyclone edges Rampage of Furies. Let us know your favorite light runic attack in the comments section. And subscribe for more God of War contents across the series. Leave us a like if you enjoyed the breakdown, and if you want, you can always watch this next video on the screen for a gameplay where some of these runics were on display. I will see you in the next video, and bye for now.